Hi everyone, my name is Elliot and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a paper tail. I encourage you to be creative and make your own tail and shape with this tutorial however you want. Okay, let's get started. To start making your tail, you're going to lay out at least 4 sheets of cardstock and then you're going to tape them together on both sides. If you're going to be making a super long tail, you will need to lay out more pieces of cardstock. I try to lay them out as straight as I can, but if you have a differently shaped tail, you can point them upwards or in any configuration you want. Now I'm going to start drawing the shape of my tail onto my cardstock. You can just lightly sketch it out. It does not have to be dark because you don't want the sketch line showing up on your tail. If you haven't taped your pieces of paper together on the back of your cardstock, you should do so. This will help reinforce your tail and make it stronger. Now I'm going to cut out the shape we made earlier. You might want to change the shape when you cut it out, but I didn't really do so here. Just cut it out however you want to and try to be smooth with it. If there's any edges sticking up on your tail, you should tape those down as well. Now you're going to grab 2 more pieces of cardstock. Actually just grab as many as you think will fit over the tail. Then you can go ahead and tape these together. Just make sure it fits with the shape. Then you're going to take the shape of your tail from earlier and trace it onto these 2 pieces of cardstock. You're going to then cut this piece out so you'll have the 2 sides of your tail. And then at this point in time, I'll usually start to erase all the sketch marks and lines we had from our previous tracing. Now you're going to visualize how thick you want your tail to be. This will help you cut out the strips you'll need to make the 3D part of your tail. Now I'm going to grab a couple more pieces of cardstock. This is where I'll figure out how thick I want my tail to be. I'm going to grab a ruler and trace down the pieces of cardstock. If you want to cut more strips all at once, you should stack the pieces of cardstock you need. I usually like to stack 3 or 4 on top of each other. It usually takes me 3 to fully go around the tail. So now that I have my strips cut out, I'm going to take 1 strip and grab a piece of tape. And then I'm going to tape the tape on the very end of the tail. Then I'm going to take the strip, line it up with the shape we made earlier, and tape it on like this. Try to line it up as precisely as possible or else your tail will end up warped when you finish making it. Now you're going to keep doing this along the edge of the tail until it reaches the end of the strip. If you get to a corner like this, you're going to tape on the very end and then fold the piece of paper so that it matches the edge of the tail and just looks cleaner, I guess. You're going to want to line the fold up correctly with the tip of the tail and make sure that your fold is very straight and it's not like wonky or anything. Then you're just gonna tape that small folded edge down to the next corner. I don't really know how to explain it, I'm sorry guys. Now I'm going to take my next strip of paper and line it up with the previous fold I did earlier. Make sure it's fully lined up and then you're going to tape it onto the edge like we did earlier. Then you're going to keep taping around the edge of the tail like we did previously. And keep doing that until you use up all your strips, and you should have what looks like the tail without the other side. Your tail should now look like this. It should have that opening, and it should look like the shape, but without the second piece on top. Now we're going to take the piece from earlier and tape it on to the edges like this. Pretty much just do exactly like we did earlier. This is easier though because you don't have to warp the paper around the edges like before. You just have to tape it directly on and make sure it doesn't overlap with the edge or anything. Try to tape it as perfectly as possible. It might not work the first time, you might have to adjust some things, but just try your best and it'll turn out pretty good. Once you're done, you should have something that looks like this kind of boxy shape, and you're almost done with your tail at this point. You're now just going to add designs and any markings, fluff, fur, anything you want. Try to make it your own, and make it match your character. For Bubblegum's tail, I just traced around some fluff in a different color, and you'll see how that looks later. Now that you've finished your markings and design of your tail, you're going to take a small strip of paper. It's going to be slightly thinner than how wide your tail is. And I also recommend making it the same color as your base so it blends in. Make it slightly shorter like I did, and then curve it around the end of your tail and make sure it fits. Now I'm going to grab some duct tape or packaging tape if you have it. If you don't have any of those, you can just use regular Scotch tape, but it will take a while because the tape isn't as thick. I strongly recommend duct tape for this though, as it is kind of rubbery and it'll keep your tail intact better. You're going to take the tape and tape strips over it like this. You're going to do it to both sides so it fully laminates the piece of paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure there's no paper part showing, and then smooth down your duct tape. I like to use a hard material like the back of my scissors to smooth down my tape. Now I'm going to make sure it fits to the base of my tail and then lightly tape it on. Then I'm going to take a stronger piece of tape, like some packaging tape, and tape it to the base. Now you should be almost done. I like to finish it off by taping down any exposed edges of the paper, reinforcing my tail, adding more markings, etc. Just do anything you want really, and I encourage you to get creative with it. I forgot to specify this earlier, but the loop on the back is for a belt or a string to go through so you can attach it to your body. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I hope you guys have a great time making your tails. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and please consider liking and subscribing if you want more tutorials in the future. By the way, thank you guys so much for 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate you all so much. You guys mean the world to me. I'm hoping to release a new paper fursuit head tutorial in a couple months. If you have anything specific that you need help with, please say so I can add that to my new updated tutorial. Thank you for watching and have a great day.